Be about 9 years old at the time this happened. Mom has always been sort of abusive. She would hit and yell at me a lot, but I never broke a bone or anything. Always distant as well. She would always say shit like, "You're not my son," or "Our lives would be better without you," etc. She still does, but I'm not here for sympathy. I have to make it clear, she was always like this. It wasn't that I made her mad or anything. She never hugged me, never called me nicknames, never said she loved me or whatever. One night, before I went to sleep, I decided I might try praying. Something along the lines of, "Please God, please let my mom love me. I just want to make her happy, please, for one night, please." I fell asleep while saying please. It was probably one of my most heartfelt prayers ever. Legitimately, from the core, I was begging. I woke up in the middle of the night with my mom staring down at me. It was creepy as fuck, but I was groggy and slightly hoped my prayer worked. But as my eyes cleared up, I realized my mom was completely pissed off. Her face was full rage mode. I started backing away in fear, and she just started lashing out at me and screaming. Bang. Fist connected with my face, much harder than the usual beatings. Generally, my dad can stop her in these sort of situations, so I bound off my bed and sprint down the hall to my parents' room. I can hear her screaming behind me. I kick it into overdrive. I slam through my parents' door at Mach 5, and I jump on my dad. But dad isn't dad. Dad is mom. I just fucking jumped on my mom. Dad is laying over to the left. Fuck. Here comes the rage. "What's wrong, honey? Did you have a bad dream?" What? Did my mom just say that? She never calls me honey. Why isn't she raging? You can sleep with mommy and daddy tonight. I lay down in between them and she holds me. It felt so right, even though she had never done it before. She starts singing some song softly, and I fall asleep with her cradling me. I wake up the next morning in my parents' bed. I start thinking about last night. I am confused about the two moms. It's freaking me out. I go downstairs and see my mom cooking. I am nervous as shit. I don't even really know what to expect. I just say, "What's for breakfast, mama?" In my head I'm saying, "Please, please, please." Nothing. You woke up late. Go figure something out. Oh, we are back to normal. I am still happy it's not super rage mode mom from the previous night though. I have more stuff, not related to my mom, but this is the memory that most freaks me out to the core. This one happened in 6th grade. I made a couple of really tight friends in the 4th grade. We are all going to go trick-or-treating. My dad says that we can go out alone. So it's just the 4 musketeers heading out. Aaron brought fireworks. We were shooting them off and launching them at each other. We decided we should talk about the school. We serendipitously meet up with some of our kids that we know. We started exploring some of the neighborhoods the other kids knew. We are just chatting, but we kept pretending like, "Oh shit, Anon, who's that behind you?" No one believed it, but you still looked, to check. It's a little bit after 1, and I tell my bros that we better head back. We ended up really fucking far away from our house. Not lost, but definitely over an hour away. We start making our way back. As we make it to the school grounds, I glance over at the playgrounds. I see a guy in all black walking towards us. I focus a little bit harder, and I see he is carrying something shiny. Guys, do you see that? They all laugh but still look. Billy freezes a bit and says, "That is definitely a knife." Nervous laughs abound. Billy is urging us to run, but no one wants to be that guy. Aaron, the tough guy, decides that we should wait and see, talking about how he will kick anyone's ass. The dude finally makes it maybe 9 to 10 car lengths away. That is a knife. I know it. We all know it. Dude breaks into a sprint the same instant that we did. I am fucking running like I have never run before. I have no idea if he is catching up or not, but I am not gonna look back. We run for what feels like an eternity. Leap over the 3 steps in front of my house. Ain't none of that stupid horror movie bullshit. The key is already in my hands, and I slide it in one swift move. We all pile through the door and turn around. The fucker is standing at the end of my lawn with a knife. We lock the door and run upstairs to watch him. He left. My dad came up and asked us what's wrong, but we decided to say nothing. This next event, it was 2 to 3 a.m. and I was driving home from uni. It's a long as fuck drive. It's been about 8 hours. I am almost at my parents' place though. They moved to the middle of bumfuck nowhere because dad got a job offer. It's a country as fuck road. Maybe a house every 10 miles and no gas stations to be seen. As I'm driving, I see a couple cars parked oddly off the road and a girl sort of chilling on the floor. I run it through my head, to stop or not to stop. My dick starts contributing to the conversation in my head. I slow down, only going about 10 miles per hour now. Suddenly my brain kicks in. I just call the cops and tell them there was an accident. KK, Mr. Brain. I start speeding up. At this point, I am passing the girl. Suddenly, she hops up and starts running at my car. I guess she noticed that I am not going to stop. 4 to 5 armed dudes start running out from the woods a little ways from the road. Fuck that. Unload all 500 horses. I zoom away. I keep it around 100 for a while, just to put distance between us, in case they decide to use their cars. Not supernatural, but scary shit. I talked about it to a few friends I made later who lived in the area. They explained that it is pretty common for people to get taken from their cars and killed or beaten in the woods around that road. Now for some more. 12 years old at the time this happened. I spent all night reading. I fell asleep around 7 a.m. I wake up to my mom yelling at me. Wake up before I throw water on you. Some shit about me being lazy. I glance at the alarm clock. It's 9:28 a.m. on a Saturday. Okay, Mom. She says that we are going to go to the pool to swim laps. Dad suggests I call Billy and friends. Fucking sweet. I call my bros. No one can come. It's too early and they don't want to wake up their parents. Fuck, but I understand, I guess. We walk through the garage to get to the car. Weird, we never do this. I ask Dad what's up. He says we are taking the expedition because the other car will not start. So he wants to grab the keys. Grab keys, and we get to the car. On the way to the pool, Dad notices I am tired as fuck and sort of bummed. He says that we can get ice cream. Hell yeah. Grab giant sundaes at frozen custard joint and chill for a bit in the restaurant eating. Mom is pissed and muttering, but Dad is joking around with me, so I had fun. Go to the Y and start swimming laps. No one is around, which is weird. Not even the usual lazy teenage lifeguards. The lap pool is shallow, so Mom and Dad tell me to keep doing laps while they go to the hot tub. Fine. I swim a few more laps and midway through my next one, fucking everything cramps up. I am going under. I struggled for maybe a half a second before I had to just breathe in. Water filled my lungs and that was it. Panic gone. It was just so fucking chill and surreal. Just floating down, looking up at the sun through the water. Man, that's pretty. I can't believe I'm going to die in such shallow water. Heh. Mom's gonna be happy. Nah. She loved you. That's it then. My life was decent enough. Love you. I closed my eyes and fade away to black. No other way to describe it. But there was no fear or struggle. My eyes opened to what I can only describe as a fog. Sorta what I imagine it would be like to chill in a cloud. It wasn't said aloud, but I sorta understood the feeling. You aren't supposed to be dead yet. It suddenly feels like I'm falling. Wake up before I throw water on you. I suddenly wake up in bed, gasping for breath. I look at the clock. It's 9:28 a.m. on a Saturday. My mind is fucking blown. We are going swimming. I don't want to. You are going. Please. You are going. Okay. Dad tells me to see if my friends want to come. I call. Same excuses. We go through the garage again. Driving. Let's go get ice cream. Nah, Dad. Dad thinks I am being mopey. We go anyways. Eating ice cream. Talking with Dad. But still really unsettled. Decide I might as well go to the pool. Swim a couple laps. And just say I'm tired early. We get up to leave. We are walking to the car. I am suddenly really dazed. My ankle rolls and I catch myself. The fuck? I go to keep walking because it wasn't so bad. Holy fucking shit, the pain. My left leg could not be stood on at all. Dad, I need to go to the hospital. I think I broke my leg. He laughs like, what the fuck are you talking about? He sees that I am not joking. He starts yelling at me for bullshitting. He looks at my leg. It is already starting to swell. By the time we get to the hospital, my leg is all kinds of fucked up. It is purple and swollen to the size of a football. X-ray time. The doctor comes in, fully mind blown as well. You are 100% sure you just rolled it a bit. My dad confirms my story. My doc explains that I have torn every ligament in my left leg below the knee. He doesn't really know how to explain it. He keeps saying that I must have really fallen hard on it. Nope. I end up in a cast, and then a brace, and then in rehab for almost 7 months. Better than dead though, I guess. Here's another story from my teen years, maybe 14 to 15 years old at the time. I flew to Bangladesh to meet my grandma. I met a lot of family for the first time. The country is honestly really shit, but I can see this being fun. I met an uncle, but he is damn young, so we hang more like cousins. My grandma is superstitious as hell, constantly telling me how to pray and how to banish demons or jinn. But she is really nice. I really love this cat that she got recently. Never had a pet of my own. I thought it was named Biral or something, but later I found out that is just the Bengali word for cat. The thing sorta acts like a dog, chills around with me, and will fetch. Never left me alone. My favorite part about her is when I would sleep, she would sleep on my chest. If anyone would try to wake me up, namely my mom, she would go into attack mode. Anyway, that is enough ground story. Uncle Bro convinces me to go out with him to the forest. Grandma tells us to mind certain trees and stay away from them. I have no idea what she is talking about. Long story short, have a pretty damn good time fucking around. Lots of time passed, and we ended up eating tons of candy and drinking shitloads of soda. Uncle Bro has to piss, so he just picks a random tree and starts pissing. I notice the band around the trees and recall what Grandma said. I tell him to fuck off and pick another tree. Nope. Out of nowhere, this chick walks up to Uncle Bro and touches him mid-piss. I laugh cause, caught with your dick out bro, top cack. He crumples to the floor. Wait, what the fuck did she do? Did he just get fucking tasered? The girl walks up to me. It's freaky, because I see that her eyes are closed. I figured she might be blind, as it isn't a weird thing to see in this country. Girls with their eyes burned by acid. As she gets closer, I notice she has an eye drawn on her forehead. I am really weirded out. Hey, sorry, I cannot speak suddenly. I hear a hiss behind me and I look. It is Cat Bro raging. I look back up and the chick is gone. I freaked out for a moment, but I go to Uncle Bro and check on him. He is out but alive, so I carry him back to the house. Yeah, with his junk dangling, in case you were wondering. My uncle and aunt are doctors, so they take a look at him. He is not waking up no matter what they try. I'm not feeling too hot either, but I don't mention it, because fucking coma panic. My grandma walks in and asks what happened. She is pissed when I tell her. She gets an egg and starts muttering something and rubbing it all over Uncle Bro. Then she goes off with the egg, and a couple seconds later, Uncle Bro wakes up totally fine. My grandma comes back and does the same thing to me. I was about to say that I am fine and stop her, but I really did not feel fine. I felt like I had a fever. She took the egg away and came back looking at me sort of expectantly. I explained that I am still not feeling very well. Grandma talks about how that girl was probably a djinn who was protecting the tree. I am getting progressively worse and Grandma is worried sick. She is trying all kinds of prayers. Diarrhea and vomiting is kicking in. It's insanely bad. I keep retching but there just isn't anything there. Same with my anus. I gotta shit but there ain't no shit to shit. I feel fucking horrid. I swear up and down if I survive this, I am never coming back. After a while I give up and take some sleeping pills. Pass out on the couch. I wake up again a while later and feel the weight of Cat Bro on me. I feel totally fine. I figure I just went into shock from seeing some crazy shit. I chill out for a few minutes. Wait, something isn't right. I can't feel Cat Bro's usual purring. I hop up immediately. Oh no, please no. Cat Bro is not moving. I scream for someone to come. Grandma comes to see what's up. She had been praying outside the door. She picks up Cat Bro and takes him away, saying thank you and sorry over and over again. I don't get it. Let's take her to a vet. There aren't many vets in this country and B-Rail has already passed. Grandma goes on to explain that animals have very pure souls. Sometimes they will take a curse onto themselves to protect their family, that I should be thankful to Cat Bro. I don't know what else to say. Life went on. We buried Cat Bro, and I eventually came back to the States. I am still thankful to her, regardless of whether or not it was just a weird chain of coincidences. Like 3 years ago, my cousin and my uncle invited me and my dad to the local stadium to watch a football game, because, family tradition or something. The plan was that Dad and I would pick them up in the car. When we got to their house, my cousin says we have to take his 6-year-old brother, because the babysitter cancelled at the last moment. We took the kid and sneak him into the stadium. If anything, we could buy a resale. So the game ended. Our dumbass team lost, but anyway, we were heading back to Uncle's home, and once there, both my cousins leave the car running straight to the bathroom, but my uncle stays at the car talking to me and my dad. And then we hear man screams like someone was getting fucking tortured, so we run to the house straight. I was ready to beat up some robber or whatever. We get into the living room, and my cousin is all disheveled with a red face, doing these disturbing gestures and yelling like the Conjuring movie. My little cousin is crying under the living room's table. We thought older cousin was convulsing, so we shove a cloth in his mouth. I swear to God, my uncle was desperate and almost crying. He tried to talk to my cousin, but he could not hear us or just ignored us. And then we tied him with ropes from the garage while he kept screaming and contorting, but he calmed down after a while and started to cry quietly. We still tried to talk to him, but he seemed not to understand. My younger cousin was still crying but more calm, so we asked him what happened. And he said that when they entered the house, they saw the dog eating cereal with a spoon. Man, if you just saw my cousin getting all crazy again. So we say fuck it and called an ambulance, cause we didn't even know what to do. After they took him to a clinic, in short story, they told us he got a permanent screw loose. We thought my younger cousin was overwhelmed with everything, so he probably was not expressing right. But after a few days when things eased up, we asked him again. But he kept saying the same thing when they entered the house, that they saw the dog eating cereal with a spoon. My aunt would get hysterical, since she didn't understand what the fuck he meant, till the kid got desperate and did a drawing of what they saw when they entered the house. The family's fucking dog sitting on a chair in the dining room, eating a bowl of cereal using a spoon. My aunt got even crazier with that drawing, since they had not seen their dog after my older cousin went crazy. And that was it. My little cousin has to go to therapy every week, and the dog never appeared. Be 19 years old at the time that this happened. Be a university student. Be raised Catholic with a cult curiosity. Be open-minded in a critical way. I am a major in history and poli-sci with K-Pol-X leanings. Worst combo. First year on res, third year a student. No guns, strict uni weapon policy. Halfway into first semester, I come back from food one day. I can't unlock the door. Why do this again, door? The first time, completely refusing to unlock though. I call the student officer. The guy is huge. I am 140 pounds. He is at least 240 pounds, muscle, same height. He forces the lock. You're lucky, Anon. I only just managed to get this open. This was jammed pretty damn good, Anon. Who has access to this lock? Well, do they hate you, Anon? I instantly think of that one guy. The university guy tells me how to get the door properly checked by a maintenance guy. He leaves. Anon gets crafty, deciding that curse writing is a good idea. Decides to employ some text from the Corpus to write a curse against the fucker that tampered with my door. 3 days later, Shit has been going on in the dorm. It's 4 beds, 2 baths with a kitchen shared in the middle. 2 beds and 1 bath on opposite sides of this middle. I've been feeling a strange presence in the kitchen. Glass bottles have been broken. They only could have been thrown. I know it wasn't us. Even my girlfriend could feel it. She saw an unnatural reflection in the glass behind her. She didn't know what it meant, but I did. Accidental scrying. So the guy I shared a wall with was my best friend for 2 years already. Russian/German ethnic. He and the former Muslim guy from the other side walk into my room. I am known as a good party host, but don't bullshit me. I know martial arts from the old texts and manuals. They even think what they want to say is bullshit. I press them to anyways, promising not to hit them for being stupid or trying to pull another prank. They felt it too. I fess up to the curse writing. I kept the written paper in my room beside my desktop. He recognizes the quote from the Corpus, being ex-Paul himself. Both of us are good writers. The stuff I freelanced itself used the quote rather effectively. Now look. The former Muslim thinks I summoned a jinn. Third guy is scared as fuck. The 3 of us agree to conscript some atheists and agnostic people to accompany us when we go to destroy it. We don't tell them why we're going out there. They just think it is a walk with friends. We stop a decent distance away. Rule number 1. Always destroy the shit as far away from home as reasonably possible. Crumple the paper up. There is at least 3 + 4 of us, standing in a circle-ish. Try to lighter this crumpled nightmare up into a flame. I burn this exact kind of paper rather frequently. It should catch quickly, but it's not. The paper resists the flame. Short moment, and the flame finally starts to burn. Rain immediately begins, very light. The more the paper burns, the heavier the rainfall. Me and Rustbro knows what's up. This is not natural rain. This rain be fake. Russ and I be saying Russian Orthodox and Catholic prayers. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness. Rustbro be talking Russian. The paper is 95% burnt. Fuck this, we are out. We are all scared shitless. We get back completely soaked as if we jumped into a pool. Was not supposed to rain at all. Check with guys that live in the city. They did not get any rain. The campus is less than 0.5 kilometers away from the city. What the fuck? The spoopy shit in the dorm stops happening after that. Haven't seen any road trip stories on here. Let's change that, shall we? I'll start. Moving cross country from Washington State to North Carolina. Driving alone and in a big ass box truck. It's my first time driving alone that distance, but needs to be done because fuck hiring movers. It is early March, still cold as hell. The first day of driving is not too bad. I make it into Montana around 12 AM the first night. I don't want to blow cash on a motel, so I pull over into a rest stop for some sleep. I get maybe 2 hours of sleep and decide to say fuck it and head back on the road. I am quite literally the only vehicle on the highway as far as I can see, which is a long way. Mind you, this is Montana, and I am going through the passes at this point, so that makes sense. About an hour away from the rest stop, I see lights up ahead on the road, and I tell myself fuck yeah, because I have not seen anyone in 3 hours time. I get a little closer, the lights suddenly go out. I think to myself that maybe it's someone having car trouble and their battery died or something. Still, I'm not stupid, so I make sure the pistol that I carry with me is within grabbing distance. I get close enough to where the headlights on my truck illuminate the spot where the lights were. Not a damn thing is around. I chalk it up to me being exhausted. I keep on driving, even though I'm a little spooked. About another 15 minutes pass as I notice lights in the side mirror coming up on me fast. The creepiness factor ramps up a notch because I literally had no warning. The lights kinda just popped into being. I speed up a little. Though if you have any experience with a fully loaded box truck, you know they aren't exactly speedsters. The lights seem to speed up with me and tail me. It continues like this until about an hour before sunrise. Then just as fast as they appeared, they are gone. By this point I say fuck it, take the next exit and find a hotel. The town is a little old mining town, I think. Really old buildings, lots of cowboy looking people and farmers. I grab breakfast, grab a cheap hotel, and pass out until about 9 that night. I fuel up, grab some snacks, check my map. No GPS, so sue me, and head out. By this point, I'm just now hitting the flatlands part of Montana. Well, the flatter part. Plains to the right, plains to the left, and a full moon to illuminate everything. There is still snow in a lot of places, so I'm trying to be careful in case of black ice on the road. Driving for a few hours, right back to no vehicles on the road, so I pull over to take a piss. I am doing my business. I am looking out across the plains when I see movement over one of the patches of snow. I figure it's some deer. I continue on my business, until whatever is moving stops dead, like it is frozen. At this point I am done, but I'm curious to see what the hell it is. It stands there for a while unmoving, then bolts off towards the stand of trees. I turn and head for the truck, when I hear a god-awful noise, like an animal getting fucked badly. I literally say aloud, "Fuck that noise," and hop my ass back into the cab of the truck, turn it over, and speed my ass up the road. I tell myself I'm just tired from the trip, and not being used to driving the distance alone. About an hour later, I take another piss break. I see movement in the field about 150 yards off from where I am. I remember what happened earlier. I willed the piss to come faster and watch the area. Something bolts from the little bit of cover in the area and takes off on all fours, but the gait is weird. My piss shuts off instantly, and I run over to the door and hop inside. I go to start it up, but all I get is a fucked engine noise. Shit. I pull out my phone and notice that I actually have service and call the rental place. While I'm waiting for an answer, I'm looking out the windows and watching for whatever the thing was. I finally get an answer, and while they're looking up where I am, the truck had GPS. I see the thing kinda just loping around in the field. Weird movement, like its back is messed up or some shit. The person on the other end informs me it'll be about 4 hours before they can get someone out to me. Fuck my life. I tell them to hurry it up. I guess I sounded weird because the person asked me if everything was okay. I remember blurting out that there was a weird animal in the field by me and that I was kinda spooked by it. Person laughs and says I must not have seen a deer before, then hangs up. At this point, I am pissed that the truck broke down and that fucker pretty much called me a dumbass. I have not been looking at the thing. I go to look at it and it is gone. I lock both doors. I turn the battery on so I at least have lights and wait. About an hour passes when I see the lights coming from behind and fast. I think to myself, fuck yeah, I am gonna kiss that tow driver. It's March in Montana and I am cold as balls. The lights get maybe a football field's length away from me and then they cut out. Warning bells start going off in my head, so I grab my pistol, chamber around, and make sure I have a spare mag just in case it's crazy hillbillies looking for some butt sacks. I sit there for what seems like forever, then the lights come back on, except now they are down in the field. At this point, I am almost certain it's crazy hillbillies, up until the weird animal thing comes walking out towards the lights. It looks somewhat similar to the pic, except without the tails and spikes, and fur everywhere. I am thinking to myself, what the hell did I smoke? And then I remember I don't smoke at all. The thing kinda walks into the lights, and a few seconds later, they just vanish. At this point I say fuck this, and start trying to turn the damn engine over because I want away from whatever just happened. Of course this fails, so I say screw it and sit there. I am sitting there for a good 10 minutes when the light just appears in front of me and coming as fast as hell. Too fast for me to really do anything, so I just kind of accept my fate that I am going to die in a crash or something. I literally black out. I get woken up by someone beating on the driver door. The sun is up. I get out. I feel like shit and hurt, like I've been through 12 rounds of a fight. The guy says he'd been banging on the door for a good half hour. Doesn't make sense that I did not wake up because I am a light sleeper. He also asked what the fuck I did to the back of the truck and the tires. I am completely confused until he shows me. All of the tires are fucked up, like someone took straight razors to them, and the back of the truck where the main hatch is just fucked all to hell. Door open and loads of my shit scattered out around the back. I explained to him that it wasn't me, but he is having none of it. He and his partner help me get up as much of my stuff as I can, secure the doors, then they hook it up to the truck and pull her up. we get into town, and they take me to the sheriff's office for vandalism of private property. Have to sit in some podunk little station and explain to this no-nonsense looking guy what happened. He buys it, says I am not the first person to report stuff like that. I have to stay in town for a few days until I can get a new truck and transfer all of my stuff, so I put my time to good use asking around. When I asked about the animal, they said it had something to do with a native tribe in the area. I get a new truck, and then I hightail it out of there during the day. Sadly, that's all there is to the story. The rest of the trip was completely uneventful, besides a few weird lights in the sky and a few forests that I passed, and I apologize for the lackluster ending. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed the stories. The goal for the channel is 100k, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment because it really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.